All right, this Uncle here, and I'm sitting down with my brother Cam. We're gonna go through a little interview. I must talk about the past, the present, and the future.
Mhm.
Right. First off, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. Ain't seen you in a while.
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. By God's grace, you know what I'm saying? Good to see you, Unc. We go way back, and it's good to see that you hitting them hard and
Absolutely.
bringing this real raw, street, uh, politically incorrect content. So, I got to be a part of that. We overdue. We
Yes,
long
sir. Yes,
overdue.
sir. All right. The first question I want to start off with, we're gonna talk about the past a little bit, just in case some of the viewers don't know who you are. Just kind of want to bring them today on a few questions,
All right.
and then we'll go from there. What drew you to hip hop
What
as a form of expression from the beginning?
what drew me to hip hop as a form of expression in my beginnings was I would say music, the love for music in general, and hip hop to us, like on the West Coast, we didn't really call it hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It was more rap. It was, we called it rap. We called it pop locking. Like we didn't really do break dancing and graffiti and all like, that wasn't that was like gang graffiti for us was gang business. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't art.
Right, right.
So the hip hop form as far as rap, what drew me to that was probably Sugar Hill Gang, of course, in the beginning, Rappers Delight, and then the message. What really got me interested in doing it myself was the message by Grandmaster Flash and Run DMC. So at the it's early '80s, mid '80s, so we was
Okay.
we was all feeling that. You know what I'm saying? So I always loved music, but I can't sing. I couldn't play no instruments. So when I first heard rap, it made perfect sense because you didn't have to be able to sing, you didn't have to be able to play no instrument. And then I heard, of course, it started on the East Coast, so the stuff they was talking about, I could kind of relate a little bit, like when the message came out with Melly Mel, what he talking about. But it wasn't until I heard, on our side, like Ice-T and 6 in the Morning, and then of course Eazy-E and NWA and Cube that made me, really want to do it. I was a fan, but what made me want to do it is when I heard them on the West Coast doing
Okay, that's big. And how did growing up in Watts shape your perspective and influence your lyrics?
it. It was like I said, my influence really came from when I heard homies from LA and Compton doing their underground mixtape. So when I heard Toddy T, I got to give a shout out Toddy T and the Battle Ram and mix masters like Mixmaster Ken and DJ Star. Like these is all hood, Mixmaster Spade, rest in peace. Like these is all hood raps. That's what
Right.
that's what really made me, want to do it and what influenced me like that. So, when I heard that,
Okay.
that's what kind of made me want to do it personally because they was rapping like Run DMC or whoever's songs, but they had changed the lyrics to
To
include
made it
the
fit
hood and the
local.
homies and roll call and what's going on in my streets.
Okay, so that was big.
Yeah.
You was close with Ice Cube during the early days. How did that relationship influence your career and personal growth?
Yeah, I was introduced to Cube through my homie Solo. You know what I'm saying? So Solo is Franklin now on Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to Solo.
yeah,
That's the big bro too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We go way back. Well,
yeah,
we that me and you go way back, but
yeah.
Solo and I go way back like family.
Exactly. So back then when I was fresh out of a few years out of high school, he had hooked me up. Well, I had another young homie from 11, well, I don't want to say no neighborhood, but from around the city named Lil D. And Lil D was cool, homies with Solo. And I went to school with Solo. We went to Locke High School in 11th grade, you know what I'm saying? So, they was, we was having street money and doing our little thing in the street. And Solo had a big homie from his side, his section, named Jess, Big
Hmm.
Jess, and Mo Light from Watts. and they had got together and put some little street, they money together to do a label because that's, we saw that was popping at that time. That was a way to go legit and stop doing the street
Right.
thing. So I met Lil D through Solo, and Lil D knew Jess and Solo knew Jess, so we got together that way and started doing a first little independent album on Jess's label called Water Wheel. So and he came up with What's Up Productions. He had a production group, What's Up Productions. So I put my first little street single out through that, and while we was working in the studio at Echo Sounds in Los Feliz, Q was in the next room working on whatever his first, I think it was Kill at Will when he first left NWA, that little EP, he was working on that. So we kind of met, you know what I'm saying? He heard what we was doing and was saying, I got a new label called Street Knowledge that I'm working on, man. I'm interested in, messing with y'all. And so that was the beginning of it. So long story short, we was doing our thing with Jess and Molike and Solo. And we met up with Q at Echo Sound while he was working on his solo project. And you say how it influenced me though. It let me know that I was kind of official, that I had some, something with me, because I seen his response to what we was doing. And from then on, because I didn't know nothing about him personally on his street life. He didn't really know nothing about me, but we kind of bonded because I was at that time just kind of getting into the nation, the knowledge itself, and trying to be positive and not doing the blue and red thing, So that was attractive to him, you know what I'm saying? And of course, what he was doing was attractive to me because that's what I was there for. So we kind of start building on that level. So I was putting him up on the brotherhood game, and he was not game, but lifestyle. He was putting me up on the music game or lifestyle, and we developed a real close bond. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's good. On the song "Never Again," which was in the beginning, was a powerful reflection of the Rodney King riots and racial tension. Looking back, how do you feel about that album now?
Man, that Never Again album was my favorite album. That was my debut album, and it was, of course, so much going on. The first single off of that album was Peace Treaty. So, that was fresh off the Rodney King verdict and the 92 or not, uprisings and all that. So I wrote it all. I actually wrote, a lot of that before the riots even happened. So it was like some prophecy stuff. But of course, at that time, when you write singles and songs and albums, it's gonna take you 6 months or 9 months before it come out. So by the time it came out, the album came out in 93, like March 93. And the first single was Peace Treaty. And so by then that the riots had already happened. So I actually went back in and polished it up and made it more specifically based on what happened, because this already happened, that already happened. They burned down the stores, they burned, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah.